What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Adventures in Drunk Fish Keeping. That is refreshing. Just a simple Yingling tonight. I was walking over here doing some quick checkups, doing some things in my tank, and I thought, you know what? I haven't done a video in a while, and I've got a really cool thing to do a video about. So, this. To the reefers who have been doing this for a while in the hobby, they know what this is. But to the newbies, to the people who haven't been doing this, this is a filter sock. This is a really, really awesome line of defense against craptastic water. And I'm going to really resist the urge to do a sock puppet show with this filter sock because, let's be honest, no one wants to see a big burly dude make small kitty voices with a filter sock. It's just weird. Anyway, so back to the video. Filter socks, their job is to be a mechanical filter. That's all it is. It's just an additional form of mechanical filtration. There are people out there that have reef systems that do not run them. I have seen people that do not run them. Those are usually more established tanks, older tanks with more mature populations of fish. Coral is established and well. They're not dosing as much. They're target feeding their fish. So, yeah, they cannot run them. I run a filter sock because it helps me catch junk. And I will be the first one to admit I overfeed my tank because I have a bunch of juvenile fish that I want to grow. And I want to grow them quickly. I want to get them up to that show size where they look good in the tank. That requires good water conditions and lots of food. We get good water conditions by keeping the water clean. To get a lot of food, you have to keep the water clean to give them a lot of food. Otherwise, you end up with very fat fish that swim in a cesspool of their own waste. But, so, cool thing about filter socks is that they're the easiest thing to change. Most sump setups will have a cutout where the sock sits into. It's got a little lip on the ridge here, as you can see, like a little lip, and it hooks in, and it sits there. And it's got these two pieces where you can literally stick your hand in there, grab it, and pull it out, let it drain out, throw it in a bucket, put a new one in. Now, I used to clean my filter socks. I'd pull them out, put them in a hot water bleach solution for about a day, pull it out, rinse out real good. That would usually get me one or two more uses out of a filter sock. It can be done. You have to rinse them exceptionally well if you're going to put bleach in them, which is what I would recommend doing. But they still start losing that flow rate. So you can only clean them once or twice before they just get too loaded internally with junk before you can't really use them anymore. Now, there's guys out there that'll literally pressure wash these things and keep reusing them. They're $12, so I change mine out every 2 days. 3 days tops. I feed really heavy. So it's just an added expense to that aspect of the hobby, but it's a humongous way to keep that water quality and water condition really good. I don't go past 2 or 3 days because the problem with this filter sock is, like any mechanical filtration, it's catching all the hard particulate junk. It's catching it. As that builds, it becomes a nitrate sink. It's really what happens. All that junk sits there, it rots, then it moves its way back into the water column. It defeats the purpose of having the sock in the first place. Right now, I'm changing this sock about every 2 days. And in fact, as soon as I get on this video, I'm going to pull mine out and put a fresh one in because that one's been in there since Friday. So we're going on almost 4 days. So that's pushing it. Though granted, I did just do a kind of a small water change. That also brings me something else too. When you talk about reef systems, as you let a reef system mature, and it gets more age on it, you can jump, I won't say jump back, not stop, but you can really pull back on your water changes. Now, when I first set this tank up, I was changing water religiously every 2 weeks, 10-gallon changes, keeping the filter socks clean, all that kind of stuff. I have added fish to the system. As I've added fish, of course, I've had to increase the amount of food that's given in the tank. But the one thing I've done is I've kept my filtration up, and I've also kept the water changes up. I've done some tests on my water. My water stays really consistent across the board. week in, week out. I could probably stop doing the water changes and just keep it topped off and let the water stay as it is. But since I have a lot of smaller coral frags, I'm dosing on a regular basis. I'm keeping stuff dosed. I'm keeping heavy amounts of food in the tank. So I'm going to continue to do the water changes. In fact, even if this tank was a 10-year-old tank that was full of mature fish and mature coral populations that was having to like cut and frag out just to keep it from overgrowing my tank, I'd still probably do a water change, either one big one at the end of a month or 2 medium-sized water changes, twice a month. I just can't get around not doing water changes. It's just been one of those things that I really have gotten into doing religiously. That's very beneficial to the tank. And that's where your filtration stuff comes in. Like I said, the filter socks, doing stuff like that really helps out. And, case in point, right now, this water, and you can see the fish, and I'm not trying to brag, but that water is super clear, super clean. That's my new copper band. Just put him in there on Saturday. There's the Desjardins in the background doing his thing. And there's that blue side farrier S. The Tamini's hanging out. He's shy. And I've got a longboard bunny floating around here somewhere. But this is kind of the thing with when you get your water clean, is that you can have a very good established coral and fish population that will come from clean water. And that's one of the things I cannot tell you enough, is keeping the water clean, but not too clean. There is a doing it too much option. And doing it too much really results in taking all that beneficial bacteria you work so hard to build and stripping it out of the tank by doing excessive water changes and excessive cleanings. I was really bad about this. I was super guilty of this when I first got in the hobby. I would clean the tank constantly. Clean the back walls, clean the glass, brush the rock off, just constantly cleaning to no benefit. It was basically just killing my water quality because I was keeping the water too sterile. Nothing could stay growing. My coral was suffering. My fish were suffering because they had a system that was so clean there was nothing for them to pick on. And I lost a lot of really good, really pretty fish. There's that blue side farrier ass. If he'll sit still for a second. Yeah. Good luck with that. He's not going to sit still. But that was kind of the thing. I just constantly cleaned the system out, and it just did me no good. So now I've kind of... It's almost like controlled chaos with a reef tank. You let it go just long enough to where you think, I might be doing some damage, and then you keep it up. That's where doing your water testing comes in, things like that. The filter sock, I thought about it as much as I've done about basic tank upkeep. I've never shown you guys a filter sock and talk to you about what they do and why they're important to have in a tank. They're a big part of keeping a tank clean. I would really recommend, unless you just have one of those it's been established forever systems, run a filter sock, run the extra filtration. That saves your butt when you have a spike. The extra filtration saves your butt. In my sump, I've got a filter sock, I've got additional live rock, I've got a humongous bag of Purigen, a humongous bag of carbon, I've got another foam buffer plate, and then I have a protein skimmer that runs pretty much 24/7 unless I'm dosing my coral, and then the protein skimmer gets cut off for about a day and then right back on. That stays on 24/7. I'll deal with some of the aeration in the water to have that protein skimmer running and keeping everything up. So like I said, guys, filter socks are a good thing to do. I think they help out. They've certainly helped my tank out. Everyone's tank is different. They all operate differently depending on obviously what's in the tank and how much you run. But to me, it's given me the best peace of mind is having a little bit of extra filtration in there to help catch if you got junk. It helps catch you out. It helps you, in my case, feed heavy so I can grow my fish faster and have larger specimens and not have to wait 2 and 3 years to get them big, when I can maybe get them there in, you know, a little bit less time, because I do want to have show specimens in the tank. But that's pretty much it for tonight's video. Just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about that. I'm looking at possibly setting up some kind of a monitor for the tank, just like for doing like a day video, and then of course shorten it up a little bit, but just like do like a 12-hour span of the tank during the day, so you can see how the lighting changes, and maybe just shorten that up to like a 10-minute video. I'm gonna probably do a video on the Fluval M90 next couple of days. The girlfriend just did a little bit of reorganizing on the rock. I just want to show you guys just kind of how everything's acting in there. Questions, comments, put them down below. As always, guys, adventures in drunk fish keeping. If you guys have anything you want to say or add, put them in the comments. And if you like the video, like it, because it gives me something to do at night. Thanks, guys.